Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my magical readathon, N.E.W.T.S TBR. If you don't know what the magical readathon is, it's hosted by G over on Book Roast. I will try to put her link right here. She puts together a really amazing readathon surrounding Harry Potter. So in May we did our Owls. She put together this like great flip through book of all of the careers that you could pick from to study and pass tests for your N.E.W.T.S. So I picked Potioneer. Obviously I'm a Slytherin, and I'm just kind of really into the idea of that. So I passed all but one, but I'm still just going to take my N.E.W.T.S. I did end up finishing the book like the day after the readathon was over, so I'm just going to pretend that I finished it and do Potioneer for my N.E.W.T.S. I have 7 books that I need to finish to become a Potioneer for my N.E.W.T.S. It starts August 1st and goes all the way until the end of the month. She has a Twitter, Magical Readathon Twitter, where you can follow along and she posts questions. Basically, you go to classes. It says Herbology will start in 15 minutes, and she does such an incredible job making it seem like the professor is asking questions about that class. So if we were doing Herbology and they say, what do you need to wear in order to protect your ears from like a mandrake when it comes out and it's screaming? So you tweet back and answer the question, and the 2 people that answer first get points for their house towards the house cup, which she also has a tracker for. She has a huge tracker where you can insert the book that you read, the author, the house that you're reading for, what class it was for, and how many pages. You don't win anything for that. It's just really amazing to see how many pages we read and which houses are participating the most. I think last year we read 4 million pages, which is ridiculous, and I'm sure we're going to do even more this time around. So my first class is Arithmancy, and I have to read a book that ends with an even number. The book that I picked is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvaarte. I'm not sure how to say her last name. I am technically only done with the first 2 books of this series, but the 3rd book is part of, but the 3rd book I am using for another challenge in this readathon. I fell in love with The Raven Boys. I read it about a week ago on my phone. I just downloaded it from iBooks. I was just not feeling well. I had a really bad headache and I just wanted to lay down, but I wanted to read as well. So I downloaded it. It was like 4 something and fell in love. I think I gave The Raven Boys 4 out of 5 stars, but when I read The Dream Thieves, I gave that 5 out of 5 stars. I loved Ronan's story. I love what's kind of happening between Blue and Gansey, and I'm really, really excited to continue on with this series. I am having to show some major restraint and hold off for another week before I can start reading the rest of the series. My next class is Care of Magical Creatures, and I only need to receive an A for that class. Challenge is the book has to have a title starting with A, and she did say it could literally just be A something. So the book that I chose is A Torch Against the Night by Sabat Tahir. I read An Ember in the Ashes about a month ago, and I really, really loved it, so I am very excited to return to this world. I'm waiting for A Reaper at the Gates to become a paperback copy. It's still in hardback, and I want my series to match, but these are such gorgeous covers. I love the white and just how like dark this is. The contrast is amazing. My 3rd class is Herbology, and I need to get an A and an E. For an A, I need to read an audiobook or a book with a green cover. I've talked about this before. I'm not a big fan of audiobooks, so I am going to read a book with a green cover. And the book that I chose was Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I have read quite a few of her books and have loved every single one. They are just like the perfect summer books. The Unexpected Everything was such a great like friendship book. I loved it, and I'm very excited to read another one of her books. It's Summer Here. Although I hate the summer, I do really love reading summer friend adventure books. So hopefully I can fly through this and not get off task. One of the things that I noticed I did again, I didn't pick any graphic novels, which is what I said I was going to do, but they're kind of expensive. It's like $20 to $25 just for one of them, and I got 5 books from Barnes & Noble for $45, and had I added graphic novels, it would have been way more expensive, and I'm just already in the middle of the Raven Boy series, so I wanted to continue on with that, so next time. Next, I have to receive an E for herbology, and the challenge is to read a book that's 350 to 390 pages, and thankfully Blue Lily Lily Blue fits into that, so I believe it's like 370 pages, 387, so it just barely fits. I am so excited, like I already said, to continue on with this series. I did not expect to love it so much. I don't know why I waited so long to even pick the books up, but I'm glad that I have now, and I just really want to know what's going on with Blue and Gansey and Adam and Ronan, because I did get spoiled for that. Ronan and his powers, and just even thinking about Noah breaks my heart about what happened to him, so I'm just gonna keep going. Next, I have my potions classes. I need to get all the way up to an O, obviously, because I want to be a potioneer. It makes sense. To receive an A, I need to read my friend's favorite book. I don't have this book on hand. I just asked my boyfriend what his favorite book is, and it's The Giver. I will try to insert a picture right here. He loves that series. I read The Giver a really long time ago, but it's been a really long time, so I'm excited to read it. I've seen the movie quite a few times, and it's really, really good. So I'm hoping... I remember that the book was pretty similar. It's just been a long time, so I can't remember. He has the full book set at his parents' house, and we're supposed to go there in a couple weeks because we're going camping and he needs to check on his dirt bike. So I'm not going to buy the book. I'm just going to get it from on his bookshelf at his parents' house. To receive an E, I need to read a book with a green cover, and I picked The Alchemist by Michael Scott, which makes me laugh because I'm a really big fan of The Office. So it just makes me think of Michael Scott from The Office, and I'm like, he couldn't write a book series. But it's The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel. And I just thought that this was a really fitting series to begin because Nicholas Flamel is obviously talked about right at the beginning in the Harry Potter series. He is the creator of the Sorcerer's Stone, which Voldemort is after so that he can come back to life and kill Harry. And I have had this book saved on my TBR for quite a while, and I had forgotten about it, and then I saw somebody post about all of the books in this really gorgeous picture on Instagram, and it just made me want to reread, and it just made me want to even more dive into the series. And again, this is Harry Potter themed, so I feel like it's perfect. My last challenge is O, and then I am finished with potions, finished with my career, and that's to read a book with a prologue. This is a very thick book, and I am regretting it a little bit, but I'm going to try to read to divide it up and see how many pages I would need to read every single day in order to finish it by the end, and just read a little bit at a time since it is so thick. I picked Kingsbane. There is a prologue. This came out in May, and I read Furyborn sometime last year, and it was incredible. Claire Legrand is an amazing author, and I really want to see if she has any more books. I just loved the world. I normally don't like multiple perspectives, but jumping back and forth between Rael and Elena was so good, because normally the reason I don't like multiple POVs is because I tend to like one person's storyline better than the other, but they were both such strong storylines that I just wanted to continue reading both of them, and I'm really interested to see what happens with the characters, and who the real, I guess, Sun Queen is, Blood Queen, something like that. And this cover is gorgeous as well. Furyborn was kind of an impulse pick for me. I picked it up because of the cover, and then I read the dust jacket on the inside and it seemed really interesting, and my boyfriend was like, just get it, like, you know you want to. So I picked it up, loved the first book, so excited to read this, but it is quite large. So I don't know, this might be the book that ruins it all for me. That is my TBR for the Magical Readathon. I will leave the link below to G's book explaining all of it and talking about the N.E.W.T.S. I will link at the end of this video my May TBR and my vlog if you want to watch that. I am participating in 2 separate read-alongs, readathons. One of them starting next week, and then the other one right in August. I if I can complete all of these, I think I will read 12 books in like a month and a week, which will make my Goodreads reading challenge just go way up. I'm not behind, I'm right on track, so I haven't been too worried. Last year I was like 20 books behind. I'm really trying to do better about it this year. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!